Today we're going to show you how to make toast.
The health benefits of taro is that it has a low glycemic index, unlike potatoes. This causes it to be healthier because it can help prevent diabetes, and it's also a good source of fiber. However, take caution when preparing taro, because if it's not prepared right, it can lead to health complications such as kidney stones. To prepare taro properly, you must boil it for the right amount of time. Also, don't eat taro with bananas because it can cause abdominal pain due to the different chemicals inside the products.
What you will need is dry milk, sugar, self-rising flour, dry yeast, regular flour, 2 pounds of yutuo, corn oil, almonds, and 2 eggs. Begin by scrubbing the taro very thoroughly. Then, peel it. Let it boil for about 30 minutes or until you can pierce it with a fork. Meanwhile, prepare the dough.
Yeast cells reproduce very rapidly no matter where they are. It goes through a process called budding, in which each tiny cell separates from the main cell. During the growth process, yeast cells produce enzymes, so when the yeast is added to the cake or bread dough, one enzyme goes to the flour, changing starch into sugar. Another enzyme then takes over and changes the sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide, and it spreads through the dough, forming bubbles. As the dough bakes, the heat causes the alcohol to evaporate, the bubbles break, and leaves tiny air pockets in the final bread, which makes it light and fluffy.
Leave the taro paste in the fridge to harden as you now create the dough. Begin by adding 5½ cups of self-rising flour into a very large bowl. Next, sift the flour in very small increments into a larger bowl. Now add in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of milk powder, and 3/4 cup of sugar. Pour in the yeast mixture along with 1 egg and 3 tablespoons of corn oil.
Some chemical reactions occur in the self-rising flour. Self-rising flour is actually regular flour with baking powder added. So the rising effect happens in the oven as the baking powder becomes activated by the liquids in the dough and the heat of the oven. This causes it to rise.
Puncture a hole in the dough and knead again for 5 more minutes. This part is optional. We added 1 drop of purple food coloring to give it a more vibrant color. Now, section out the dough into little balls. With 1 egg, apply it with a brush on each of the taro balls to give it a nice golden color. Knife the balls so that it creates a pretty snowflake pattern. Next, chop almonds for the garnish. Let the buns rest for another 30 minutes before baking. For the first 5 minutes, we applied another layer of egg wash and put it back in for another 5 minutes.
How